Now there's 2 people not in the basement.
Is she in the medical?
Yeah?
Oh, that's actually funny. Do you have new dialogue? Do you never have
Yes,
new dialogue?
Commander?
No, you don't
Is
have
there
new
something
dialogue.
you need?
You don't care
go.
about
Goodbye,
the new
Commander.
person in your back room. Who would care? Who would care about that? This is like also immediately after the meeting.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗧 assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃𝗃 physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗧 knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the 𝗧𝗏, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like 𝗪𝗫𝗄. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers. But I was always careful, until the 𝗧𝗏 followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, that's cute.
Do you know why 𝗪𝗫𝗄 joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃𝗃 to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to 𝗪𝗫𝗄 in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗃𝗃.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Of any species and any gender? How?
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds.
Yeah, but how are you gonna
We
produce a
explore the
baby?
genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits onto our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater
Okay,
understanding
Okay, so they infertilize themselves and then they apply some sort of telepathic, like, genetic information. Like, they just produce the genetic information onto the, like, egg cells in themselves and then they produce a child?
That is what she is saying, correct?
I mean, that's interesting.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an 𝗧𝗏𝗺 and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃 chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another 𝗧𝗏𝗺.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 believe it weakens our species. 𝗧𝗏𝗺 daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are 𝗧𝗏𝗺, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible 𝗪𝗫𝗻𝒄𝗏𝗃 partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Why agree to the union if she didn't want any children?
I cannot answer that. This is all speculation on my part. It is possible she wanted to be part of my life, but something happened to her before she had the chance. 𝗪𝗫𝗻𝒄𝗏 never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Do you know who 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃 chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if
𝗪𝗫𝗻𝒄𝗏 never told you her partner's name?
union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺𝗺 believe it weakens our species. 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 daughters inherit I am what it is possible 𝗪𝗫𝗻𝒄𝗏's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed.
How could anyone
I
abandon?
cannot answer that. This is all. 𝗪𝗫𝗻𝒄𝗏 many 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗺 raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Too much information. I should go.
Do you want to see if she has more dialogue? I don't think so.
I did. What do you mean?
No. Like after you talk to her. Some
Loading.
games do that. I don't think this one
I
did.
get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just wanted to talk.
Of course, Shepard. What did you want to talk about?
no. Yeah, nothing important.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Well, that was the only option, Louis.
I know, and it was new.
That was confusing.
Kaiden?
What?
Commander, do you have a minute?
Oh yeah.
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, 𝗨𝗪𝗀𝗀? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Seems like you beat the odds. How many didn't make it?
Out of 100, maybe 60 have no effect. 30 suffer adverse effects, little things like brain cancer. The other 10 show enough ability to augment with implants. Not always permanent, though. Not like the cancer. Next thing you know, you're out on jump zero. And how's a kid supposed to deal with that? A station at the edge of human space.
I'm confused. So when I pick one of these options, is this gonna go away?
No, that's gonna stay there until you pick all of those options.
Okay.
Jump Zero is 𝗪𝗪𝗯 station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the 𝗧𝗶𝗁𝗃𝗀𝗃 FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out.
Aw.
We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃 kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
You would want to, yeah.
And you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful. But not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am.
What was what would the other picture? What would the other? What would the other option have like said?
I don't know. I don't pick it often.
Okay.
Upper left?
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Of course. The grind.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗃 did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I wanted to get to know you a little better. That's all. Thanks for the talk, Kaiden.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am.
I want to learn your secrets.
Make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Of course.
What do you think is flirty?
What?
The top two are flirty. To some degree is not flirty. There is no way for you to know this without me telling you.
Oh wow. I was gonna pick this anyway.
Okay.
Because I was gonna be like, yeah, I wanna be friends with everyone, thank you.
Yeah.
Of course. But I don't enjoy it with everyone.
What? What? Shepard?
I'll need some time.
That was the flooding!
Yeah, I'd like that.
What the fuck?
Alright.
I don't think we had a choice in there! I don't think the game let us not flood with danger.
He might have more investigate dialogues.
Oh, but I just jumped into the elevator!
Yes, you did.
No! Oh.
Alright. It also has now been 3 hours.
No. We do all
Okay.
the crew talk and then we okay?
Alright,
We have,
I said okay.
We have like
yeah,
another hour.
yeah.
I only have therapy at noon. I can do this. What?
You didn't have to go up right now.
Yes, because I will forget otherwise.
Okay.
You know, Discord seems to show me when someone is talking when I have muted them. Which is good because now I know when I hear myself, but like when I am lighting up. And it is like very helpful for when I'm not sure if my mic is picking up or not.
Anything you need, Commander?
Okay, for
is
personal
Trying to get a
inputs.
sense of where the crew's at.
I've wasted
Nope.
enough of your
Oh,
time
okay.
for now, Commander.
Tactical
Thank you.
appraisal. Tactical appraisal. It's not Eden Prime anymore.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. 𝗧𝗏. She seems nice enough. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
The bookish shot? What?
Any intentions there, Lieutenant?
None, Commander. I prefer adventurous swimming.
Okay, can you stop this flooding?
We'll talk later, Kaiden.
What is up with you?
No.
Are you horny or something?
You get the same thing talking to Ashley if you're male Shep.
So that is like the game's trying to first get you into the dating game, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll also have that with Liara.
Oh no.
You have to reject both of them.
Good.
Likely repeatedly.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
Ah, that's nice.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a 𝗨𝗺𝗍𝗺 diplomat. What an ass.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗺.
You afraid of her?
What? No. Aleena and I were old friends. Sort of.
Oh.
We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗺𝗺 mercenary. That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Aleena about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what'd you do?
Well, I was going to lose the contract, but I respected Aleena. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. She always was a bit of a softie.
Yeah, a softie. That's what I would call that. Yeah.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days, I chased her through that station. Used my entire store of ammunition. Had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone. Life support was failing. But I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the 𝗧𝗨𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃 didn't make it.
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I
Excuse
headed back
me?
to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Aleena sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
Okay, but this is very important. Are Turian, quote unquote, nuts different in size? Is that a thing? Or did he just say that?
It's just he's picked Turians. I don't know, maybe they're small. I don't know if that's ever established.
That's such a weird thing to compare against. Anyway,
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Aleena was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes.
I mean,
Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Ashley, you sure have something to say, huh?
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. T'Soni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I mean, there are like people who really cut all ties with like their parents as soon as they are 18. So,
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
what? What is happening? What is happening to these people? What?
She's trying to make her uncomfortable. The goal is make her uncomfortable.
Is that the best way to spend your time, Chief?
I read you, Commander. I'll behave. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive. Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Kaiden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
Aww. That's sad, kinda.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Do you want me to remind you of some stuff?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened to your family?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what must be nice references.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple years back. They were on 𝗪𝗆𝗄𝗄. At the time, I was assigned to 𝗪𝗏𝗂𝗃. Same cluster, but a dozen 𝗪𝗏 away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Oh.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Where was your father during this? Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Yeah, I should have become a poet.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around.
Oh, of course not.
Was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, whatever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it?
Oh, she's a Christian girl.
She never actually specifies Christianity. Just theism. However, she does use Christian
That depends
terminology.
on whether you have a problem with people who don't believe in God.
Commander, I'm not some kind of zealot. I believe in God. What everyone else believes is their business. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Alright.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
That was a very long talk about a person we do not really care about.
Yep.
Commander, I wanted to thank you
What for, Garrus?
for everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. Thanks, Commander.
You're welcome, Garrus.
Now come on! Everyone else had so much else to say.
What for, Garrus?
For everything.
I think maybe it changes
Thanks, Commander.
after you deal with 𝗓𝗨𝗧.
That's quite a speech, Garrus.
With
I
𝗓𝗨𝗧?
think there's
What?
more after you deal with 𝗓𝗨𝗧. You remember Dr. 𝗓𝗨𝗧? Heart?
Oh, yeah.
Haven't dealt with him in this timeline. Oh,
Nope.
look, there's something at the console.
What? Oh.
Examine.